I would say, my main videos right now are the tours of these unique Airbnbs. Right now, I have an arsenal of Airbnbs saved, so I kind of plan them out in advance. A lot of times, I'll just sit through Airbnb and like go through the categories and try to find some. Once I find a good one, I'll look in the surrounding area for other ones I could possibly visit. So I do that. A lot of the times, I'll reach out to them asking if I can stay there for a video. A lot of times I say yes. A lot of times I say no for whatever reason. But then, I'll plan a trip. I'll go out and I'll do like anywhere from 3 to 9 or 8 in one area kind of in a week. So I have a batch kind of on reserve so I can come home and edit them and kind of do other things and then rinse and repeat really.
Okay, wow. So that's cool. Like you'll hit up the Airbnb hosts and let them know. It must help too now that you have, your channel is like taken off and you have, you know, six figures of subscribers and rising, right? Like that you can there's like proof of work that you can say, "Hey, I have a YouTube channel." And we get a lot of views and it'd be awesome if you could comp our stay or something like that. How many yeses do you get relative to no's when you pitch them that opportunity?
Surprisingly, it's probably like 60-40, 60% yes, 40% no. And usually the no people are like really big name Airbnbs that they're always booked and they're probably thinking, I don't need a video. Why lose money with a video whenever I'm already like booked for a year or whatever? I get it, but then sometimes I don't understand as well. But, good relative time they say yes.
Gotcha. How do you discover these? How do you find them? Like what are there like is there like some sort of like unique search that you're doing on Airbnb? Cuz I mean, personally for me, I would like to know so that I could find some of these some unique Airbnbs close to me that I could stay at for a little time. But again, how are you going about finding these Airbnbs?
For sure. So there's definitely that's probably my most popular question. I would say outside of the YouTube world is how do you even find them? And I would just say like there's lots of accounts out there that post Airbnbs. Like there's one account I follow that posts cool Airbnbs specifically in Arkansas. So they do the work for me basically. Or there's a couple other like Facebook groups that post Airbnbs every day, just all around the world. So if there's one that's close by, I'll save the ones that are all close or in the United States or whatever. Uh, Mainly, I would say is when you go in Airbnb, you can refine your search to there's like tiny house, there's tree houses. You can refine it to dome homes specifically, and they probably have like 30 or 40 options for that. And that's mainly how I do it. And
So do you normally Oh, go ahead, Levi. Sorry.
no, you're good. They're pretty like spread out too. So like container homes are, I would say, probably the rarest type of unique Airbnb. And so if you're looking in a specific spot, you're probably not going to find them. I like expand to the whole United States and do container homes. Or container home isn't even an option, sadly. But I'll do like tiny house, and then that like I'll go from there. Then I'll find one, and then I'll go to that area and look.
So will you just like maybe pick an area that you're interested in visiting? For example, like I mean Joshua Tree, right? Will you pick an area and then just do that search and then you'll see what comes up?
Yeah, yep, I'll do that exactly. I'll start by state, maybe like the whole state of California or maybe just the southern part of it. And I'll notice that in Joshua Tree, that's like a hot spot for pretty cool Airbnbs. So I'll just go to Joshua Tree then and look around and save all the ones that are cool. Then I'll try to plan them out. The hard part is like the logistical side of things because they're all booked different dates. So I got to like match them all up and then I'll ask or reach out to them and they'll say yes or no, then redo it all.
How long does that take you to just kind of figure out all the logistics of shooting and planning these trips out? Because not only that, then you have to like book if you're coming out to California from Ohio, you have to book a flight to come out here and then figure all of those things out too.
Yeah, it takes a long time, surprisingly. Right now, it's just me kind of doing everything. So shooting, doing all this. So probably I'd say from a blank slate to going out and shooting, probably take, if I did it like all day, probably 2 or 3 days to plan it all and have it booked in the schedule. And then, I plan out in advance. So if I book it or if I plan it, I probably won't be there for the next 2 or 3 months, maybe 4 months or so.
Okay, so you're booking these out like way in advance. So you probably know what you already know what January, February, and March look like for you at this point.
Yeah, yeah. I'm booked through December, so those videos will bleed through January and maybe February. But the key is to always stay on top because I don't want to be a week or like be running out and then I have to plan a trip because the good Airbnbs are always booked, so you got to book them in advance.
Gotcha.